Hi everyone, my name is Leonardo and we're here at the Digital Media Zone here at Italgas. We're here for the Planet Week that is leading up to a serial event for the G7 that it will talk about climate, sustainability and energy. We're here with Paolo Gallo, the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Italgas. It's a pleasure for us to having you here, and also thank you very much for having us in this wonderful headquarters. We have a couple of different questions talking about energy and greenhouse emission. The first one is how is Italgas working on reducing greenhouse gas emission?
Well, you know, we are working on several directions in order to arrive to the what is called the net zero emission by 2050. What is extremely important is that you define a trajectory that will bring you to the net zero. So we are working on the distribution side to reduce the leakages. Leakages are inside our, let me say, CO2 emission, the largest portion. So we have introduced a very advanced technology that will let us to detect even the very small one. We are able to detect one particle out of a billion particle, one particle of CH4. And we have been extremely successful in the last 4 years to reduce the emission. As of today, our network emits 0.1%. And if you compare with the leakages in the electricity distribution that are above 10%, or even the water, I mean, there is no even comparison. But still, our effort is to further reduce these leakages. On the other side, we are working hard to reduce the energy consumption, because if you reduce the energy consumption, at the end of the day, you reduce the CO2 emitted. So we are working either on the electricity side, electricity consumption, and on the gas consumption. Just to give you some number, in 2023, we were able to reduce by 15% the overall energy consumption in comparison to 2022. That means reducing by 15% the CO2 emission. We are ahead of our targets, because in some area we have already reached the targets that we set for 2028. So we are accelerating. So if I take a white paper and I put the different points that we have accrued starting from 2020, and you design the trajectory, you will see that we are well ahead of reaching the 2050 target. So we are extremely confident that we'll probably reach this target significantly ahead of 2050.
Wow, that's awesome. Another question that I have is how's Italgas is supporting the greener transition? You can explain it a little bit, but
sure. First of all, when you talk about the green transition, you should put aside any ideological or dogmatic approach. Because if you take this approach, as unfortunately some European Commission members have taken in the last couple of years, if you use this approach, it's sure that you will never reach the targets. What I'm saying is that the energy system is a complex system. And if we want to decarbonize our economy, we need to have a more holistic approach. In a sense, you need to consider all the possibility, all the technology available if you want to reach that. In that case, means if I have to summarize that, you need not only electrons, like somebody is saying, but you need also molecules. You need to make the electrons greener, and you need to make the molecules greener. You need to make an effort on both sides. You cannot have only one or the two and forget about the others. So from our perspective, we are trying to incentivize the green gas production, such as biomethane and hydrogen. And in the meantime, we are preparing, and it's already prepared, our network to accept also this kind of gases. So our contribution will be, we will be able, as infrastructure operator, to distribute, to accept and distribute also not only natural gas from fossil fuel, but also biomethane, that is CH4 coming from biological production, bio origin, and hydrogen or synthetic gases. So our role is make sure that our network is ready and available to accept any kind of gases, and therefore helping the production of these gases.
That's very awesome. And my last question is talking about if Italgas have any programs or initiative that will include also young innovators.
Well, you know, it's not an initiative. It's really, it's the core of our digital transformation. I mean, in the last 7 years, we have been able to significantly inject new generation inside our company. You think about that, 7 years ago, our average age was of our personnel was over 55 years old. And if we do the same maths today, we're getting to 48. So 7 years have passed, and the 7 years we reduced the average age. That means that we reduced by 14 years the age, because otherwise, if you didn't change, the average age would have increased by 7 years. But apart the maths, that means that we have introduced a significant numbers of young people, because for us it's fundamental to create the new generation that understand our business and our industry, and is able also to get the competence, the skills that are part of our company, so that they've been developed by the oldest guys that are still in the company. So it's a tough job in a sense that it's another transition. It's not only the energy transition or the digital transition, is also a culture transition where you bring together people more expert but probably less digital, and people that are less expert, so young people, but they are more, for them is more natural to have a computer, to have an iPhone, to think digitally. Up to now, we've been extremely successful. So it's not only a project, it's real, the transformation of the company.
The future, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for this wonderful interview.
Thank you. Bye.